Hey guys, it's Karen. This is my day 2 of making comics challenge video. Um, I'm getting to this really wicked late today, but I am determined to get my half hour in. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday the 3rd, but I haven't gone to bed yet, so I'm technically calling this July 2nd. I don't know how productive this video is going to be. I had a huge day today with just family stuff. And I have a client project I was flatting on in all the time I took. I could pull it up here. Let's see. Open. I gotta find the Photoshop file. I'm working in Manga Studio right now, which is now called Clip Studio Paint. I'm pulling up. Let's see if that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's showing up. So this is a cover that I'm currently flatting. I did all the inks in Manga Studio, Clip Studio, and I've been flatting it in Photoshop because I'm faster. Well, I don't know. I'm about equally as fast. So I thought I'd go back to Photoshop to color because I'm very much faster in Photoshop and coloring in general. And much faster at inking in Manga Studio. So eventually I'd like to just do it all in Manga Studio, but I don't know if that's I don't know, I've just recently, it's only been since like the fall of 2015 that I've had Manga Studio. Anyway, this is a cover for a client's book. Local Hero Press is the client. It's a book about young superheroes, and I'll probably be doing a little bit of the process. I'll videotape some of that for my other channel. I mean, for this channel, but just not for this playlist. But I spent a lot of time flatting today. I'm still learning how to color with flats because most of my coloring in the back has always been painting, digital painting. So I'm trying to teach myself like traditional comic book style coloring, like cut and grad, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to end up coloring this once I get the flats done. I've got most of it done here. I just need to do the, why isn't my cursor showing up? I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, yeah, I just have to finish now flatting out the girl in the wheelchair, her outfit and her gadgets and her wheelchair itself. And then I'll start rendering out the color. I think I've got most of it. But yeah, so anyway, this is it's comic book related, but it's client work. It's not personal work. So I did so much work on this today, and all the spare time I had, I did on this. But yeah, so I'll go back over here. I have nothing yet. I'm going to do some sketches. I sketched a little bit earlier, but I'm just gonna, now these are gonna be really rough. I'm gonna work on so yesterday I showed you boy, I'm not even warmed up yet. I showed you the wife and the mistress. So now I have the businessman character, and I'm not sure. I know that he has to be a not so nice guy, and I know that because he has bodyguards that are not so nice. So he's powerful and he's not so nice. So I don't know if he's a mob guy, if he's like a politician, if he's I have to decide that. I've been going back and forth. When I start writing the script, I need to decide exactly what his issue is. I mean, not his issue, Wow, you can tell I'm really tired, you guys. I'm sorry. This, again, oh, so one of the things I really love about Manga Studio is when I draw with pencils, or God, it's been so long. I used to, or charcoal, I always would smudge it. And I don't, I really got away from doing that with Photoshop when I was working digitally. I mean, I still did, but there's a lot of people who, artists that really frown upon it, and I've kind of gone back to it, not so much for the painting, but in my drawing, for some reason, it's sort of like using the light eraser, but if I smudge it, I'm very scratchy in my drawing style, as you can see here. If I smudge it out, then I just sort of end up with more of the silhouette, and I don't have to like try to decipher which line is the best. So I'm judging both the silhouette and the line at the same time when I smudge. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to feel out the shape. Because I don't know what the contour. When you draw with line, you're defining contour, and I don't always know what the right contour is that I want, right? So if you do silhouette, sometimes you get a better feel for the character. So I want him to be older, and not in the best shape. He lives too well and doesn't take care of himself. Yeah, I don't really know much about him yet, so this is just exploring. Sometimes I used to do a lot of theater, and a lot of times I couldn't really quite finish what my character that I was, when I was cast in a play, I couldn't quite finish the transformation from me to the character and solidify the character until I looked at myself in full costume and makeup. There was that transition there where suddenly I was no longer myself. I could really visualize the outer appearance does make a difference to the inner, or how you perceive the inner, I guess. How you look on the outside shouldn't matter, but it always does. So, so even as like a character in a play, how I looked on the outside completed that mental image of me as that character, and I was able to more fully live in that character, if that makes sense. Again, I'm really tired and I'm rambling, but so sometimes if I don't have the character nailed down, if I draw the character, suddenly I know more about them than if I just make them up and then try to draw them off the character sheet. Sometimes it works backwards. Sometimes, I just make up the character and then I just know what they look like. Sometimes I can't decide. Wow, what is he wearing? Pajamas? Oy. See, I should be doing my structure underneath, but I'm just trying to this is very not right. So yeah, is he wearing a jacket, like not a sports jacket, is he wearing like a windbreaker or something over his suit and tie? Is he one of those guys? Does he have a suit on? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to end up resolving this tonight. I am really only going to spend the bare minimum on this. I've got my Pomodoro timer going, and then as soon as I'm done, I will upload this in the morning. I'll go to bed, and then I'll upload this tomorrow. So I'll probably end up with 2 videos today. This is looking like a middle-aged woman in a skirt right now. The shoulders aren't broad enough. I don't know, does he need to be more powerful? Is he a powerful guy? Is he like the Kingpin? Can he hold his own in a fight? I'll just smear all this out again. I'm not feeling any of this. So, I mean, a lot of people would just like I could just start over with a new, scribble over here, which might be better. I really want to give him a big gut for some reason. One thing I'm noticing a lot, I've got this new Cintiq tablet, and oh god, I love it so much. But even with the other tablets, I always have this, I bear down so hard. It's not really, I'm like totally afraid that I'm scratching the surface, and it's like I can't stop myself. I have to keep reminding myself that I don't need to push so hard. I don't need to push. But oh my god, that is just ridiculous. Let's smear this up like crazy. See what kind of silhouette we're coming up with here. Not a very good one. I don't always start with silhouette, but I'm trying, I've been trying it more, especially since I want to go more cartoony. It kind of looks like he's wearing a Batman mask for some reason. So I hope that everybody else had a good creative day. I mean, my day was good. I'm just wicked tired. I don't know how much of a profile shot do I want here. Yeah, so I don't know. Should he be... His goons are capable of killing a man. So that says a lot about him right there. So I don't think he would be... I mean, he's seriously ruthless, so what kind of a man hires bodyguards that would kill somebody? Probably have to be a criminal, right? And not just like a white collar criminal. So, oh man, I'm gonna have to look up suit references. Let's zoom in here. I'm starting to see how scratchy my lines are. This is why when I zoom in, you can see. This is why I really like to smudge this out. Because otherwise, how do I make sense of these? I can't figure out what line I want. But I also get more of a sense of the volume if the solidity of the shape. And sometimes shadow, I'll draw in shadow and stuff. Maybe he wears an expensive watch. Do people still wear watches anymore? I don't know. Maybe he wears, I don't know, is he a business casual kind of guy? Does he always in polo shirts or Hawaiian shirts, or is he an upper class dude? Is he like blue collar crook? Is he wearing flip-flops on the beach right now? I just gave him flip-flops. See? Let's see if I can move this down. Nope. Whoa, sorry guys. Ah, so is he vacationing here? Is this him vacationing? Or is he on permanent vacation? I don't know. The story is not set in like a Miami or a California where there's a beach, a warm beach. So his stomach's not big enough for what I want. How do I get that out there? Why does he have to have a big stomach? I don't know. That's like the one thing I know I want, is that I want him to have a big stomach. So I just want him to be too rich, not rich like in money, just too, he's older and he indulges too much. There we go. Look at that hand. Oh my gosh. Look at what I drew there. That is just ridiculous. I can't even bear to look at it. Let's get rid of it. So yeah, I mean, I really love this, just like this smear tool in Manga Studio is so much. I've got it set on Soothing Watercolor. It's one of the original blending tools that came with the Manga Studio 5. But it's just so nice and creamy, and like it blends so softly and nice, and I don't know, it really has helped me in my drawing and sketching since I started Manga Studio and started using it. I really feel like it's helped. I don't think I'll be watching this video back because listening to myself stop like that is going to be torturous. So I hope if anybody does watch this, they won't be tortured by my... Now look at my channeling Marlon Brando here. Is this Marlon Brando that I'm drawing? From one of my favorite movies, Apocalypse Now. I guess I could. So if I was to cast this right now at this point in time, this would be Marlon Brando. He needs to be older. And oh, okay, this is just a sketch, so I'm going to try not to criticize because this is just the under sketch. I will not be, I'll have to draw them again and refine. Let's flip it and see what we're doing here. Hair or no hair? Oh no, no hair. That makes him look, no, less intense. And I like to go back and carve in with the eraser because I get very smudgy, and then I like to just set the contour, discover the contour with the eraser. What else would we think about him? So he's not looking old enough to me yet, but it's all right. I'm just trying to get something to work with. So maybe he's got not such a strong chin. He's got a weaker chin because he's not taking care of himself like the rest of us. What do you think? Is this guy a wine guy, a beer guy, or a cognac brandy sort of a whiskey guy? What do you think? Does he have a high hanging? Does he have a high round belly, or does he have a low hanging belly? Now, is he looking too much like Kingpin from the new Daredevil TV show, which, oh God, I love so much. If you're not watching Daredevil on Netflix, you totally need to be. Go marathon the first 2 seasons. It's amazing. I don't know. I love the Kingpin. In fact, I love that character so much in that show that I end up, even though I love the Daredevil, I love all the characters on that show. I tend to always root for Fisk when he's on, because he's so well done on that television show. Yeah, he might be looking a little bit too much like Wilson Fisk, but not as like powerful. I mean, not like the cartoon Wilson Fisk Kingpin, but like the TV show one. Lex Luthor meets Wilson Fisk. Let's see. I don't know. Does he wear a suit and a tie? What kind of business does he do? I think he's going to have to be, I don't know. The only problem is like, so say if I wanted to have him to be like a mob boss, which again, cliche as hell, but whatever. If he was going to be that, and then his jealous wife, I mean, would he say they got a divorce? Would he actually divorce her? Or would he just bump her off? I don't know. That's really my only hang up. Like, that's what's stopping me from making him just like a run-of-the-mill mob boss guy. Oh. It's hard to say. Tonight, anyway. I'll think about it some more tomorrow. Probably need some reference for drinking. I think he's a whiskey brandy kind of guy. I don't think he's a wine dude. He doesn't look like a wine dude, does he? Stick his little pinky out. I think he's a wine dude. But I'm thinking, I love stories where, so since this story, if I enjoy it, you know, and I may or may not come back to it, again and again, like, because I want to set it up episodically, like, you know, like Monster of the Week, Case of the Week, is the plan if I want to continue making this, or if I just stop with one issue, because I am going to get this one issue done. It's my big learning comic project where I learn how in the heck to do this thing called comics and follow through. But you know, I'd like this to be a character that could be used again. All the characters that's one thing about superhero universes. Hey, the Pomodoro timer went off, so it means I have 5 more minutes, and then I'll be shutting this off. I love universes where the characters really, really grow, build, and they recur. I don't really like it when they get killed off and then they never show up again. So let's just blur that hand so nobody can see how bad. So I don't have to actually draw it for tonight, because who cares? So, yeah, so this is Mr. Bad Guy, Mr. Whiskey. I haven't named any of the characters other than the main the main character and his sister. I haven't named anybody else yet. That's one of the things I have to do. I need some time. It's just been crazy this weekend. Next week I'll sit down and do some more writing. I'm just going to work on these. I know I've got the whole first sequence planned out. First scene up to the major first plot point, so outlined, so I know which characters are going to be in the first bit of the story. So I have plenty of things to sketch out while I'm working on stuff, but I'll have to look up that too. Reference. Well, I'm not going to use this. So what do you think? This gives you enough idea of a character, so if I stare at this guy long enough, his personality might come to me? I think so. You can see my first initial, I was not feeling it. It was very not warmed up. The angle was not working for me. I couldn't get a feel of his body type. So I stopped. Still kind of looks like a woman to me in that picture. Like just the, I don't know. So then I started sketching again and I came up with something a little better. And the drawing was a little better. So I've been thinking I need to start doing warm-up sketches, just like gestures or just random stuff, because it just took me a while, and I've just never been one to do warm-ups. And I was saying to my friend earlier tonight, it really is kind of crazy. We athletes all they always like do warm-ups and stretches and stuff. Nobody expects a football team to go on the field cold or a tennis player to go on the field cold. Everybody just they do their practice shots, but yet as artists, a lot of us just sit down to draw and we don't warm up. Why shouldn't we have to warm up? We're exercising. Our brain isn't technically a muscle, but it needs to be warmed up just like the rest of us. So I might try to make it a practice now, a habit, try to get into the habit of good practice habit of doing a warm-up sketch before I start drawing. So this dude, what is he on? He thinks he's at the beach. Listens to Jimmy Buffett. Oh my God. Probably not Jimmy Buffett. Well, anyway, now I'm just noodling on making details that don't need to be made. So we'll save this file, save as. Let's give him a name. I'll just say bad guy. Oops. Bad guy concept. And with that, I will leave you till tomorrow. So this wasn't the greatest video, but I did get something. I did get a start on a concept and a direction I can go. So I'll think about this again. I'll open this up next time. I'll look at it, decide if he's two Wilson Fisk meets Lex Luthor, and which isn't bad. If I'm okay with that, I can go with it as an homage. Or if I can scrap him and go with something completely different, although I'm probably going to go with this. Probably will. I just need to think of his story now. Think of his backstory. Think of who he is, what his deal is, why he would have killer goons. And yeah, so I will hopefully have more time to devote to this tomorrow. Otherwise, the beginning of my 100 days might be a little bit boring while I just work through concepts with you guys. But even that's progress. It all needs to happen to get a book out. So I'll sign off now, and I will go get some sleep, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So happy creating, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday weekend so far. I'll talk to you tomorrow.